exist. Okay. So if our body is evolutionary driven to consume as much as possible, why do we then store fat really selective? Especially if you see in females, they tend to store more in the subcutaneous fat regions, and for males, it's usually like the belly, and for me, for example, it's my lower back. Um, is there a genetic basis for this? Is it to protect the vital organs? Why is just fat just so stipulated around those regions?
That's a very good question. And so I don't think we know for sure. I'll give you some ideas that we actually have. So that's an excellent question. And people will tell you they know that they're lying. Okay, so undoubtedly there are huge genetic effects. So we'll start with the male shape versus the female shape. Okay, broadly speaking, there's not exclusively, but you can tell that there are actually differences. So the reasons for it are largely hormonal. Okay, and we know this because females have a female shape. They tend to be more pear shaped. Okay, and so whereas men, as you describe, are more apple shaped. Now, but a percentage of women, once they get into the menopause, once they pass the menopause, and so therefore their estrogen levels then plummet. Okay. What this does is this changes the ratio between testosterone, and people call it the male hormone, but females have testosterone too, just nowhere near as much as males. But when the estrogen levels suddenly plummet, you change the ratio between the testosterone and estrogen. Okay. So in other words, suddenly women become androgenized, which means that they suddenly have a more male hormonal profile. And this is why a percentage of women that go into the menopause change their body shape. They do begin to start actually putting on weight there, indicating the roles of hormones with regards to where you put the fat. So why then do men store fat around their belly? So that I don't know why. But what's the difference between fat around the belly and fat around the bum? As far as we know, this visceral fat is bad for men. Okay, this is why we die younger from metabolic diseases. Then you might wonder, well, why did evolution have it? Well, as it turns out, the fat that's actually around the belly is metabolically more responsive. And what I mean by this is that when we are in need of energy now, so say, for example, I have been running around and I got a spear and there's a saber-toothed tiger about to jump on me, and you move, that fat around the organs, the visceral organs, are released quicker as energy than the stuff around the bum.
I see.
So that's the advantage. That's why men have this. It's just the problem is we now have too much of it, and it's actually causing us trouble.
Right. The infamous three body types then, ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph, they're said to be like genetic determinants of how you should eat and train. Is there any truth to this, or is it just junk science?
It's junk science. So I think there are two different. So your body shape is actually very, very powerfully genetically influenced, far more genetically powerfully influenced than your actual weight. Your actual weight is genetically influenced, but your body shape, whether or not you have a big bum, a big tum, are you big all over? Okay. And you can just tell this by, once again, at the airport, where clearly I spend too much time looking at people. If you actually look at families, okay, and you almost just see, and say a family, just a traditional male, female, son, daughter type scenario. And then you kind of look and says, okay, who does the daughter look like shape-wise? I kind of look her over the side of my coffee cup. And it says, does she look like mom? Does she look like dad? What shapes? And you can actually, the body shapes are tremendously genetically influenced. Okay. And your diet will have very little to do with your shape, but will influence your body size. In other words, how big you actually become. Now, in terms of the type of workout, okay, and you can go to the gym, and I'm going to go to my booty booster or whatever they call it, okay, in order to do, there is no way of targeting where you want the fat to go off from. Where your fat will come off from is going to be down to your genes. And so me, for example, the last place which fat comes off for me is around my cheeks. I've got these, my wife calls them squirrel pouches, which I do. I've got a round face, but this is because this is the first place fat goes on when I gain a bit of weight, and it's the last place fat goes off when I lose weight. That is just the way it is. For some women, it's their boobs. For other women, it's their bottom. For men, sometimes it's here.
Mm.
There is nothing we can do to do sit-ups to get rid of the fat on our tummy. We need to lose weight as and in general, and where you lose the weight from is down to your genes.